Show of hands of the people that think it's okay to take a knee in the middle of the anthem. Okay, we have 3 of you that think it's fine. What about those who say it's okay to take a knee as long as it's not during the anthem? Anyone agree? You agree? Okay, few of you. Unless they're taking a water break. Okay.
That's what's most important. I think that people I don't think these protests are wrong. I just think they're misguided. Okay. I think that the most important thing to remember here is that the national anthem is symbolic of the fact that we as Americans opportunity to protest. So a protest during the national anthem is a protest against the very thing that allows you to protest in the first place. It is a misguided protest. I actually agree with some of the positions some of these people are taking, and I would gladly share their sentiments. Not during the national anthem. It is misguided. All
right, this is Chris Valletta talking. He's former NFL player and author of Teamworks, played for the Titans, the Saints, and the Bucks. Now, Caleb also going on.
You address it by raising, you doing things. There are other ways to address these problems.
But
J.J. Watt just raised $37 million for hurricane relief. Marshawn Lynch does amazing things in his community. There are things you can do outside of taking a knee that will be much more of a legacy building for these athletes whose careers will be over by the time they're 27.
Burgess, I didn't get to you. Kyle,
that's how it went down last night with America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. Everybody took a knee. There were a lot of boos, but that was before the national anthem. And then they all stood up, locked arms, and watch the national anthem play out. Is that a good prototype for where we go from here? Continuing now with our live town hall panel. We've got a dozen people from all walks of life joining us right now. Right here in the front row. Also from the NFL, Chris Valletta.
Thank God we live in this country, because there was a woman who was publicly executed in North Korea, and her crime was watching a Hollywood movie. Okay, that's the reality, and thank God we don't have those issues in this country, and by God's grace we never will. I think what's important to remember is that the national anthem is representing the fact that we live in this type of country. That moment, those seconds, however long it takes to sing that anthem, is the time when all of us should stand shoulder to shoulder, hand on heart, and proclaiming the fact that we live in a free society that affords us the right to protest whatever we want. And I happen to agree. I happen to feel that the protests are valid. They are, as I said, just misguided. You have to do it elsewhere. The anthem is not the place to do it. And Steve, I agree. I think the NFL is all disjointed here in terms of them not creating policies and rules.
Well, let's not talk about the NFL. Let's talk about... Let me ask you this. We know that the protests have been going on for over a year, but it was gigantic this weekend, right? How many think it was because of Donald Trump who made this a big issue? All right, so, we're all together on this. Go ahead.
That you should be fired. Look, wait, hang on 1 second. Hold on.
He did at the end.
If you're an employee, I made this comment earlier. If you go into a Starbucks and right before you order your latte, the person behind the counter starts to spat off their political opinions and views, they could be subject to termination. You're an employee of a business. I played in the NFL. Believe me, they make it clear that you're an employee. Right. You should be subject to rules. The rules are gray, and that's the problem.
The thing about the protests on Sunday, which so many people